Ask Yolanda in the know. Brought to you by Lenco Realty. Buying or selling your home? Call the experts at Lenco Realty. 614-375 to buy. Here she is.
Listening audience, you're listening to Yolanda in the Know. And oh my gosh, I am so excited because I got some amazing veterans on the show today. They served our country and they continue to serve over and over and over again. You're going to find out what motivates them to serve and some of the interesting projects that they're involved in. But on the show today, I have Wanda Dillard. She is just recently got inducted into the Veterans Hall of Fame. And I have Ajamu Brown, who is doing some amazing work. I think he's even been to the White House. Amazing work with veterans and in our community. And joining us, who's driving and should be joining us in a few minutes, is Lawrence Lenoir. And he's doing some amazing work in his community. But I'm gonna start with Wanda. Wanda, what branch of service did you serve in? Why did you join the military? And if you had to do it again, would you do it all over again?
Yes, I was in the Army
You
and
were?
I served 5.5 years active duty. And then I joined the reserves and
Uh-huh.
then joined the National Guards. And the reason I joined in the beginning was the educational component.
Uh-huh.
And one of the reasons was my dad had 8 kids.
Uh-huh.
And by the time it got down to me, he had 2 kids. He didn't know nothing about Pell Grants or nothing. And
Uh-huh.
he was actually paying tuition for 2 kids. And so I went into the military because of education.
Because of education.
And
Would
would
you
I do it
recommend?
again? Yes, I would do it again.
Oh, great, 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 great. Ajamu, what
Yes, ma'am.
branch of service did you serve in? Why did you join? And would you do it again?
Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I was drafted into the Army.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's an interesting story in and of itself. But my goal was to be a professional athlete.
Uh-huh.
And I went to Central State University, and we had a riot there in 1968.
I remember.
And I had to leave school because they closed it. And while I was waiting for the school to reopen, I got a Dear John letter from Uncle Sam. He said, greetings. Next thing you know, I was at Fort Hays being examined for entry into the United States Army.
Oh,
I served in the Army for 3 years. Um, I also served a tour of duty in Vietnam.
uh-huh.
Then when I departed from the Army, I went into the U.S. Air Force Reserve. I was in the Air Force for 6 years,
Okay.
and quite a journey. Both were quite a journey.
Would you
Would
do
I
it
do it?
again?
Would I do it again? Well, that's an interesting question. I've been asked that a lot.
Uh-huh.
But when you talk to a person who's been in combat versus a person who's not been in combat, I'm sure you'll get two different answers.
Okay.
But overall, when I see how the world is today, I will certainly enter the military again. That was one of the most absolute systems I've ever been involved in. And it's been pretty consistent for quite a long time. And there's a lot of opportunities that are offered to you that you wouldn't get, have the opportunity to be involved in otherwise. So yes, I would join again.
Okay, I thought I saw Lawrence on here, but something happened. We'll get him back when he comes back on the line. I saw him on the screen, but we have Lawrence Lenoir. When he comes back on, we'll ask him the same questions. But Wanda, here he comes. He'll be coming on in probably about 5 minutes. He's connected. Lawrence, how are you today? Lawrence?
Yes,
Yes, how are you today?
I am fantastic. I am
Oh,
fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
yes,
I
yes,
apologize for my tardiness,
but that's
uh,
okay.
but a man in motion gonna be in motion.
Well, keep it moving, keep it moving.
That's
But
right.
look, you were in the military, okay?
Yes. Yes.
What branch were you in, and how long did you serve, and would you do it again if you had to do it again?
I was in the Marines. I did 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I would do it again. The only difference, I would stay 20, maybe 30 years, because my dedication to the American way of life and my appreciation for everything we have here, with all of our faults and frailties and discriminations and all of that. To me, this is still the greatest country on the planet for opportunities.
Mhm.
So I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna ask Wanda. You have an interesting career. I mean, really interesting. You're all over Columbus. I mean, fighting health discrepancies. Could you tell a little bit about some of the work that you're doing? I mean, you're just been all over the place, and been winning in a lot of issues. You know, your voice is so important. And you would you tell the audience about what you're doing and why do you continue to do it over and over and over again?
Well, I think I spent what 26 years in the military.
Uh-huh.
When you look at my active duty time and my National Guard time, and I think by spending time in that and also working in the healthcare area in the military and also here in Franklin County, I started to realize the humanitarian pieces that are missing from our society.
Mhm.
And with that, when I was at OSU, I created the free clinics, which are still running, the Asian free clinic, the Latino free clinic, the Noor free clinic. And I'm still in contact with them to make sure that we're keeping the mission going about providing free healthcare for people. And when I retired, a lot of the boards that I was on wouldn't let me go. And so I sat on Franklin County Public Health's Equity Council, and we're looking at equity programs, screenings, and things like that. And we advise Franklin County Public Health on initiatives that they need to do. And then my son went to Metro and they wouldn't let me go. And so I worked with their Bodies program, which I co-created, which is a pathway program to have youth into health careers, not just doctors and nurses, but also geneticists and vet medicine and that. And so I work very closely with them. I just came from a chaperone with them a tour to the Montpelier plantation in Orange, Virginia. And we actually did archaeology dig. I'm sorry. And we were able to find bones and nails and all kinds of things. And that was fascinating to me. And then the backstory about the descendants. And I've been working with the NAACP, and I'm co-chairing their Environmental Justice and Climate Change Committee. And we just launched a Environmental and Justice Academy with middle school and high schoolers. And we have a whole series of programmatic pieces, because when we talk about environmental and climate change, it's really actually people of color that are going to be left behind with the green jobs, and also knowing exactly what happened. I mean, we saw this summer when we saw 3-digit temperatures down in Texas and around the southern part of the United States, and we saw seniors dying of heat stroke. And so we need to realize that there's a connection with health, with the environmental justice that we look at. And I'm also a co-founder of the Ohio Institute of Communities of Color. We have connected with organizations and agencies throughout the state, to include the Action Indian Movement and several other organizations that are part of that. And we are looking at during COVID, one of the things we learned is that they were doing like Baskin and Robinson, where everybody was a flavor of the month. And so hopefully our organization will be able to take and have a voice that is one voice, so we're not pitted against each other when it comes to funding programs, screenings, and everything like that. And so that's just a summary, I think.
And it's even
Things
more. I just wonder if you ever go to sleep. I know that my involvement with you, you gave the lay people a voice in health issues, you know, where they can actually talk about what they were experienced with health. And that made a big difference in our community, you know, because used to be that health was with all the health professionals, but you gave more, you came in and helped the people, average person that doesn't have a degree or background in health, to also talk about those issues. So, you know, thank you. If I said thank you 500 1,000 times, it just wouldn't be enough, you know, for the work that you do and continue to do in our community. Now we have Ajamu Brown, and Ajamu, you're working with, you're the president of the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association, and I understand that you're helping people who served in the military that are having post-traumatic stress issues. Why did you do that? I mean, after you served, you could have sat down and maybe retired or just be drinking some Kool-Aid on the beach or whatever. Why did you do that? And tell the listening audience some of the work that you're doing.
Well, it's been a journey, and not all things you do on purpose. Sometimes you follow the lead, and you happen to be caught up in something that you hadn't planned to do. My career background really began in teaching. Taught at Wilberforce University, taught at Central State University, and taught at various colleges and universities. I thought that was going to be my career after the military. But then I got caught up in some of the issues, some of the current pressing issues that people were encountering, such as alcohol and drug addiction services, mental health services. So I became a professional counselor. And so I worked in various cities, became a alcohol and drug addiction programmer, an administrator. I worked with the Ajamu board for nearly 20 years, responsible for some of the funding and some of the qualifications that programs needed to have. So it's a monitoring process from day to day. Alcohol and drug addiction and mental health counseling services is very crucial.
It is.
I myself, I'm a recovering heroin addict. When I was in Vietnam, I became addicted to heroin. Thank God that he thought enough of me to favor me to no longer use any drugs without any programming, because during the time we came back from Vietnam, there was no programs available. So I had to cold turkey and nearly died. And I think that's when I really got hooked. I thought I was in a position to be able to help other people. And so I did that. By the grace of God, I have kept myself clean for all that time. I hope that I have made a significant impact. So I just stayed in that area. And then I tried to leave because the military was always on my mind. I always found myself working with veterans, giving them answers sometimes that were not accurate. And that frustrated me, because I figured if you can't go to the VA and get the right answers to help your brothers and sisters, then who do you go to? So I said the only thing to do is to join them. So after I retired from the Ajamu board, I came out of retirement and worked for the VA.
Yeah.
And so I joined the legions of those who believe in true recovery.
Yeah.
And I facilitated groups, post-traumatic stress disorder, trauma, brain injuries, anything that they came back with. Matter of fact, we found out there were so many that went into the military with issues, should have never gone to the military with issues. So that just compounded the problem for them. So it was probably more exciting than people think it is. But when you're called to do something, and I believe I was called to do services in various levels, and just so happened that counseling was one of the ones that stuck with me. And when I saw them coming back the way they came back, I said, I have to be involved in this process so I can see if I can help them help themselves.
Mhm.
So I got I began to go to school again, and I took various courses and became nationally certified as a peer support specialist for the VA. And when I left in 2014, in my 3 years, I said, I've had enough of working for the VA. I'm going to do this for free. And that's what I've been doing. And I find far more joy in just giving and giving than I did when I was getting paid. I can do it the way I want to do it, because there's so many bias issues and so many areas that need someone to help individuals navigate through a system that no wonder so many veterans do not want to be part of the military because they don't understand the process. So somebody got to be a mouthpiece. Somebody got to help direct them, and that's what I enjoy doing. Good. And then I got caught up with GCBLA.
Basketball Legends Association.
Yes. And that was probably an accident.
Yeah.
Because I went to one of the Hall of Fame ceremonies and seeing all the guys I used to play ball with, and I saw the joy that it brought to the families of those that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. I saw the impact that Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association had on the community at large. And I said, I want to be a part of this. So I became a part of it. And the journey has been a little unpredictable in several major areas, but we have decided to keep moving on. I have some outstanding people that I work with. And I think that I'm going to keep doing this until God tells me my time is up. It's time to do something else, or whatever his call is, because I'm here to serve because that's my purpose.
Good for you. Now we have Lawrence Lenoir on the who also served in the military. You are a Marine. What made you join? What inspired you to join? And how long did you serve? And would you do it again, Lawrence?
Well, first of all, I want to just make a comment on what Brother Brown said. I want to thank you and Sister Dillard when he said that he got involved by accident. Mm-hmm. He wasn't planning on doing it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't planning on going in the service.
That's right.
I went to register for college, and because I goofed off and I was flirting with the girls in high school, I did win class flirt. But all my friends were going to Northern Illinois, in Illinois State and all these different Ball State, Purdue. And when I put my application in, they told me to go to a junior college for 2 years and try again. And I felt like I ain't stupid. You can't disrespect me. I'm going to the military. So I didn't go in with honorable conditions. I was just mad. Wanted to do something with my life. But I want to thank both of you all for yielding to God and what you have done, because we are attacked naturally, Sister Dillard, with our health, and we're attacked mentally and emotionally, Brother Brown, and both of you all cover that whole thing holistically with a person.
Yeah.
Because it does stop people, brothers and sisters, from doing what they could or should be doing in life.
Okay.
What I do, I'm a charter member, which is one of the founders of an American Legion post in Aurora, Illinois. And I live in Bolingbrook, Illinois. So I'm a member of the American Legion here. My company, Genesis Career Network, we give job fairs. I used to drive a truck cross country, and I came in Chicago and saw a bunch of young boys on the street with white T-shirts. And I asked my son, why are they there? He said, Dad, they dropped out of school. Either they don't have jobs. So I decided to give a job fair. I went to a big church, asked, could I use the rectory? Because I'm not going to pay you, because I'm bringing a lot of people, a couple of hundred people to your church. Maybe they'll join. Come down there and mix it up with them, Pastor. So he let me do it. I got 117 people on the first one, and I thought I did a great job. I gave 7 more in the next year and a half, And at each one, there was no less than 5,000 people documented. And I didn't want to get people there to fill out applications and fill companies' database. So I kept track of who actually got hired and who hired them. And I also had job readiness, customer service, and job retention workshops at the events that they could go to. And I had people set up to duplicate their or give them copies of their resume, or they had a template so they can make a resume for them. One of the things I used was food. I used to work at an organization, Brother Brown, in Chicago called HRDI, which I was a case manager there, and it's a 90-day mandatory rehabilitation in-house for guys mandated from jail and for drugs and alcohol. And so one of the guys' father owned a chain of soul food restaurants. And he told me, Mr. Lawrence, if you ever need anything, you let me know. And I asked him how much it cost for him to cater an event for the vendors. I had a little over 20 vendors there. And he told me I'd do it for free. He did all of them for free. That was over $1,000 worth of food. And food makes good relationships.
Amen.
Any meeting you have, you bring some food, y'all gonna sit down and talk sensible, And so I had baked chicken, fried chicken, green beans, collard greens, peach cobbler, macaroni and cheese, and you fix your own plate. Now this is just for the vendors. So I branded myself. After that, I connected with a guy. I didn't know who he was at that time. He was the regional representative for the Department of Labor. His name was Ken Bennett. He was over 9 states in the Midwest. And I saw him on TV with this guy, Chance the Rapper. And I said, what's Ken doing on there? Then I found out that was his father. Well, that's not no big deal to me. I could care less. But it was just amazing how God put somebody in my life that could help me. And to see, if I had a son that was famous like that, I'd probably quit my job at the Department of Labor and carry a briefcase for him or something. But what he did, because I'm old school, he hipped me to a program from the Department of Labor that it gives funding out to all cities. They might have the Cleveland or Cincinnati or Dayton Federation of Labor. And people don't know that they have these programs. They are job initiative and employee reimbursement. So what do? Sister Dillard, if you have a company and you got 3 employees, but you want to grow, but you don't have the money to pay them, you go to the Federation of Labor and you ask them about the job initiative program, and they will sign you up. They will pay 50% of each new employee that you bring in of their salary for 6 months.
Wow.
Long as when they leave, they have some kind of certification. They are a certified receptionist, a certified exterminator, a certified something certified by you. So it'll help build up their portfolio. Now you take your cousin and
4 minutes, so you have to kind of wrap it up because we only.
Oh, okay. But anyway, that's what I do. I do everything I can. I'm active in the church. I just left a meeting. I'm an elder in church as well. I'm busy with the Chamber of Commerce here and the mayor's office, bringing different programs to this village. And it's all about, like you all said, it's all about helping people. My last statement is this: the military is either going to make you or break you. But what it does for us 3, it made us into who we were meant to be, which is servants.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I would like to thank all of you. I'm so glad that I was able to promote all of you because of the good work that you do. I'd like to first thank you for your service to our country. I thank you for the service that you're doing in the community, because I know as long as all three of you are breathing, that you're going to do it over and over and over again. Thank you for the love that you put out. You've been listening to Ask Yolanda in the Know. And if you like this program, don't forget to subscribe and push the like button right over there. And guess what? I'll see you next week. Love you.